You guys want to understand how evil the internet is? You guys want to see how down bad internet rot is? Do you guys really want to confront how despicable political brain rot has gotten? Exhibit A. I can't believe a huge piece of my childhood is gone forever. Although he was a racist piece of shit, he still gave us great wrestling moments and memories. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan dead. We smoking on that Hogan pack. Fuck boy, the racist is dead. Hulk Hogan was nothing more than a racist fascism supporting asshole. Let him rot. Glad he's gone. Next, let's hope Trump kicks the bucket. I can never feel bad for Hulk Hogan. That nigga low key had to go. Motherfucker was a racist bastard. Ozzy was a Zionist. Hulk Hogan was a racist. That's where we're at, folks. And it goes on and on and on. People take away the history of Hulk Hogan and want to plaster up the immoral history of Hulk Hogan. People are now leaking his chats back in 2007. People are talking about how much of an asshole he was. Your prerogative. Your prerogative. Here's my suggestion, though. If a guy died not even an hour ago, could we celebrate the good things first and then talk about the bad things later? And then can we frame it in a complicated situation because the extent of how you're actually framing it might not meet the criteria of what actually is deemed evil enough to go after someone after they just passed away? These people have families. They're mourning. Thank God 9 times out of 10, they're not reading your comments right now. But I can guarantee you, there's a good shot some of his fans, they're reading your comments right now. No matter how I feel about a person, I'm 32 years old. I'm a grown man. Common sense will tell you it's not appropriate and it's not the right time to go after someone immediately after their death. Can we agree upon that? You people grandstand on some of the most minimalistic things and call it evil. You call things such as not recognizing someone's pronouns evil. You call things such as calling a transgender person the wrong sex or the wrong gender, however you like to refer to it. You call them evil. You say pick one side of a never-ending religious war. You say pick one side. And if you have any reason to want to at least talk about how immoral it is for both sides to kill civilians, well, then you're automatically plastered as Zionist and you're evil by definition because you don't pick the side that they rely on, even though they themselves know nothing about the history to the extent that they want to go out of their way to take that side. This is where we're at right now. Hulk Hogan just passed away. And rather than talk about the important things that Hulk Hogan has done for the wrestling business, rather than talk about his match with the Iron Sheik and being crowned the new WWE champion and shooting WWE off into the stratosphere, instead of talking about his main event with Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff, and Mr. T in the main event of the first ever WrestleMania, instead of talking about the shot heard around the world when he body slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, instead of talking about the clash of the Titans between him and Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, instead of talking about him creating the NWO, for all intents and purposes creating the Attitude Era by default as a response, giving you some of your greatest moments, your favorite moments in professional wrestling history from 2 separate eras, instead of talking about the most iconic, arguably the most iconic scene in wrestling history of Hulk Hogan facing off with The Rock, camera shutters everywhere, instead of talking about the important things that Hulk Hogan has done for the industry, and I can tell you, he has done, I can't even stress, he has done significantly, way more positive than he has done negative for the business. Way more. All the talks of who he buried, all the talks of his lies. And I'm not here to say that Hulk Hogan was an excellent person. That'd be further from the truth. But to pretend as if the good doesn't vastly outweigh the negative, you'll be doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice in your virtue signaling. How do you look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself that you're a good person because you're dissing a man who just passed away because he said some racist comments? What Hulk Hogan said was gross, but I like to think that racism does not outweigh someone dying. Words do not outweigh someone dying. But apparently, it's okay to be racist if it supports your political agenda. It's okay to be racist against white people. It's okay to be, anti-Semitic, brutally anti-Semitic. You can choose to be racist about one thing, but the overarching narrative in regards to racism being bad as a whole, that doesn't exist. Instead, we try to find minority communities that we pretend are minorities, and to the extent that they're actually being affected by everyday life. And we use that circumstance in order to plateau actual fucking evil. Evil rhetoric. Outright evil rhetoric. Saying that you're smoking on that Hogan pack after the man just died not even an hour ago. You think you're a good person? You think you're in the you really think you are on the right side of history? You think you are a positive person? When have you ever heard the hero of a story say, "I'm glad that motherfucker's dead"? For any reason, even if that person was truly evil, when have you ever heard a person say, "I'm glad he's dead"? You people disgust me. You people are sick in the fucking head. You're evil. You're terrible. How do you not see this? How do you not see this? You claim to be empathetic, but what if we take Hulk Hogan's name out and replace it with, I don't know, someone who is Muslim, for an example? They say a lot of despicable things about Jewish people, right? Just giving an example. Just an example. Not saying that's right. Not saying that's cool. Just an example. Just be nice. Just be kind to people when it's needed at that moment. Be charitable at that moment. There are plenty of people that I don't like, and if they passed away, if I don't have anything nice to say, I just don't say it at all. But to sit here and pretend that you're the empathetic ones, to pretend as if you're the good ones, you're insane. You're actually fucking insane. Hulk Hogan is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Actually, arguably the greatest wrestler of all time. I don't care about your moves. I don't care about what your choreographed stuff has implied as far as whether or not you consider them to be the greatest of all time. I like to think about status. I like to think about what was actually done by that person to elevate the business. And no one can ever say they've done more for the business than Hulk Hogan. Nobody. Not even no one. Not Austin, not Rock, not Taker, not Michaels, not Brett, not Andre, no one. Not Savage, no, not Warrior, not Goldberg, not Cena, not Orton, not Batista, not Roman Reigns. No one can ever say that they've done more for the business than Hulk Hogan. I do not know Hulk. I don't know Terry. I don't fucking know Terry. I know Hogan. I don't know Terry. I know Hogan. I know Hulk Hogan. I don't know Terry Boyler. I don't know Hogan. You don't know Hogan. Yet you want to pretend as if you do know him. You want to pretend as if one mistake after the other presented one time every 6 months completely overshadows what he's been doing throughout his life that you have no connection with. You only know what the character has been presented on television. You only know what you paid your money to see, whether through cable, whether through pay-per-views, whether through merchandise. You only know what your money allowed you to see. And now he's dead. And your first action is to go after a dead man. Not because he actually did something immorally evil. No. Because he said what you typically say in a rap song that you grandstand on. He said that in the privacy of his own home, recorded. And now his whole tribute and everything that's connected to him, his legacy has to be ruined. It has to be damned by these fucking losers over here. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Hulk Hogan is forever the GOAT. May his soul rest in peace. May his family find solace. And I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him. My name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and this is a sad day in wrestling. Everybody should be in mourning right now. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Salute.